ready to hoist the colors? Now, time for the most in-depth look at the world of ECU athletics. Welcome in to Hoist the Colors with your host, Stephen Igo on 94.3 The Game. Watch the show live on Facebook and at 943thegame.com. Now, here's your host, Stephen Igo.
Of the show, very excited about the show. We've got ECU, ODU coming up here shortly in baseball, and that'll be at 3 o'clock. First pitch from Norfolk, Virginia. We'll have our conversation with Bristol Carter. ECU outfitter had the walk-off hit against North Carolina on Sunday. We'll recap that, look ahead to ODU more coming up later in the program. But we're leading off today with East Carolina quarterback Jake Garcia. He's new to ECU, transfer by way of Missouri, also spent time at Miami. And Jake, first off, welcome in. How's Greenville treating you, man?
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me. No, it's been a good time so far, man. Just trying to get adjusted, and the process of getting to a new town and a new university and new teammates and all that. It's been a good process so far. So I'm enjoying it.
And we were talking, and you didn't get the chance to visit, like obviously during the recruitment process. So how kind of crazy was it? You committed to ECU during the winter, and you were trying to get in early, mid-year. So walk us through that, the recruitment process. What kind of led you to East Carolina?
Yeah, no, definitely. It was definitely a little bit of a crazy process. But I mean, at the end of the day, all things worked out, and I'm very thankful for that. And just gotta trust that the process it'll work out, man. So yeah, I mean, things kind of happened quick for me within that process and of finding my way here. And East Carolina, I mean, it's a spot to be. You have Coach Baker, who I've known since my freshman year, sophomore year of high school. So I mean, I've known him and been in contact with him. So when I got in the portal, he ended up hitting me up, and that's where I got that connection from. And then just started doing some more research on my own, and it looked better and better. And there's pieces that are coming back, and there's pieces that we got in. So I mean, I'm looking forward to this season, man. It's going to be really exciting, and get those stands packed, and I'm looking forward to it, man.
Jake Garcia with us, East Carolina quarterback coming over from Missouri and also Miami. We'll talk a lot about your background and Titletown and all that you've been experiencing in the past. But I was just curious. You mentioned JDB, so I guess that dates back to when you committed to USC.
Yes, sir.
And how quickly did that relationship grow when he kind of reached out to you in the portal and just like kind of reconnecting there a little bit?
Yeah, definitely. No, it definitely grew quick. Familiar faces, right? I think human nature is to kind of go with the familiarity, and sometimes you want to get away from the familiarity and try to branch out, but other times you want to get back to where you're comfortable at. And I think having that comfort there and that familiarity is something that was important to me when I was looking at schools. And I mean, this is a place where I have that. And I mean, just watching. So my freshman year of high school, I was at Long Beach Poly, and got to back up Matt Corral, who was at Ole Miss for 4 years, and ended up going over the Panthers for a while. So I backed him up for my freshman year, and when he was at Ole Miss, I was watching all the games, right? Because I'm in high school, and I just want to watch the games, and I got to see the offense that Ole Miss was running, and JDB was part of that. So I had familiarity within the offense. I didn't know the ins and outs, but just seeing what they were doing visually, it was really cool to see, and that was something that I wanted to be a part of. So it kind of reminds me similar of like one of my high school offenses of up tempo and getting the ball out, giving the quarterbacks options, and just kind of leaving it up to them.
And I was going to ask, the offense, so much of it is based off tempo too. Right. And I know you've been in the Miami, the Missouri offense. How similar is it at all? Is it completely different? Have you had to learn a lot early on?
It's very, very different. Yeah. We didn't in my prior years. We haven't done the tempo stuff, but I mean that's where I feel comfortable at. That's where I feel comfortable at, is getting the up-tempo stuff. And I think it's fun when we get a big run and it creases, or we put the ball down the field, or I throw a little out route, right, in 5 yards, and 5 yards turns into 25, turns into 35, right, and we're running down the field, and I got my lineman in my hand pushing them like, hey, let's push the tempo. I find that stuff fun, just kind of keeping it upbeat and catching people off guard and making guys run laterally while we're still trying to get down the field, and I think that's something that gives you an edge on people for sure.
And spring ball a couple weeks away. Y'all will have spring break on campus, and then come back, have a week, and then start that. I think March 19th, the first official practice dates. But there's going to be a competition. You, Caton Hauser, we've had on the show. Raheem Jeter coming back. So how do you guys early on kind of like how are y'all meshing and also like pushing each other too in the workouts and that sort of stuff?
Yeah, definitely. You look at college football. You look at football in general, right? And I think quarterback is a very unique position, just because there's one of us on the field, right? And other positions they rotate, right? And quarterbacks don't rotate really. So it's a unique situation for sure. But I think we've done a really good job so far of being mature about it, of being able to push and pull, right? So I think being able to push each other and help each other out when it's needed. Like, hey, like I got a question, like, hey, how are you looking at this, or what'd you see on that, right? So being able to pick each other's brain, because at the end of the day, it's about winning, it's about the team. So I think we've done a really good job of that so far. So I'm looking forward to competing with the guys, and I'm sure that they feel the same way too.
And it's kind of unique, you and Caton, two California guys. I know he's originally from Vegas, but at East Carolina, competing for the job. So that's just kind of college football now. But he was telling me y'all have kind of thrown together in the past. Y'all do know each other a little bit, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
So with my quarterback coach back home, Danny Hernandez. So he puts a lot of guys out, really knowledgeable on his craft. So we've thrown together before, and it's funny the way things work out.
Jake Garcia in studio. So how quickly, upon entering, you're obviously trying to, because quarterback, you got to be able to lead guys too. Right. So that, that balance of you're trying to learn guys' names, get to know them, and also trying to maybe develop some leadership skills among this roster. So what's that dynamic been like for you?
It's definitely a tough process, but it's something that you just got to focus on and lock in on. And I think within that process, I think it's not about like just, all right, let me memorize everybody's names, right? It's about being able to have conversations with people and being able to relate to them on a deeper level than just that surface level of what's your name, where you from. I think just having conversations with the guys, and I think personally, I'm a people person, so I like to communicate with people and just kind of get to know people's stories and whatnot, and I think that's the way that you relate and that you're able to get kind of a bond going, so that when things come around in spring ball and you need somebody to, all right, hey, I need you here, I need you there, you're able to know how to push and pull, and they know that it's coming from a genuine place and not of a place like, hey man, he's just trying to be the boss. Like, no, like, hey, I'm looking out for you, you know what I'm saying?
Jake Garcia with us. So let's go into your background a little bit. And obviously, you've been on the West Coast. You've been in Georgia. You went to Missouri, obviously, after your time at Miami. So, hey, man, you've traveled almost the whole U.S. But we'll go back to your high school days, and you were featured on the documentary we were talking earlier, the title town at Valdosta. You were part of that. You had to go to Grayson to finish your prep career. Kind of walk us through the craziness of all that during COVID, trying to find the best place to play, also dealing with some cameras and attention, that sort of stuff.
Yeah, man, it was definitely a crazy opportunity, but it was a good one, and it's something that I wouldn't trade. I think that my story up to this point, and I know that my story is still being written, and I'm trying to write it every day. I think that my story up to this point has been it's been a hectic one, but I definitely think that it's something that goes into it to show perseverance and the will to finish, right? So, so I started out in California, COVID hit, ended up moving to South Georgia and playing at Valdosta I only got to play in one game because I got road ineligible after the game happened. So that win, I guess we ended up giving it up, but I was ineligible, so it hurt, man. I wanted to be with those guys, and that's where the Titletown High was filmed at, the Netflix series, and that was a crazy experience for sure with the cameras and everything, but I think it was good, man. My freshman year at Long Beach Poly, we had I forgot what the show was called. But we had the same type of deal going on. So I had kind of seen how people were acting with cameras around, right, and the way that Matt conducted himself with cameras around. So I mean, I think just getting used to it, it was a good experience, and definitely for exposure as well. So super thankful for that opportunity, and then ended up finishing out over at Grayson High School up in right outside of Atlanta. So ended up with the state championship, and that was I think it was a way to go out for sure. But yeah,
no doubt, crazy. And obviously you committed to USC at one time, ended up going to Miami. We'll talk about that. But I just want to, when you're dealing with cameras at that young age, like, how do you try to ignore that and just, I don't know, go about your life? Because it has to bring at least some form of pressure. Obviously you were a pretty name recruit, but just dealing with all that noise, is it easier said than done to block it all out?
I enjoy it.
Yeah,
I do enjoy it. I'm not saying that I'm a needed guy, right? I need that attention right now, but no, I definitely enjoy it. I think that it's something that I embrace, and just being able to be you, being the authentic you, right? And there's people that'll change when the camera gets on them and whatnot, but I think just being able to focus on just what you have to do, I think that shows you're able to tune out the cameras, the noise, and focusing on the task at hand, or focusing on your classroom, because they would get us in the classroom too, right?
Right.
So I mean, like, I would go to class mic'd up, like,
which is pretty crazy.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I mean, just being where your feet are at, and just trying to tune out the outside noise, is definitely a skill that you have to work on and continuously work on too. But I mean, I think it was a good opportunity, a good foundation. I think it was a good foundation because at the end of the day, we're trying to win, and when we win, the cameras come out.
No doubt. So you get to Miami. There's also plenty of cameras, and you play early in your career. Your freshman year, you had success in the game. Then you get injured. Mm-hmm. You would have to miss the rest of the season. So that was tough. Take us through that process and how tough that injury was your freshman year.
Oh man, that was that was tough, man. That was tough. So freshman year, first game that I got to play in, De'Aaron King was a starter for the first, I want to say, 4 games of the season. And then the 5th game is when so he had broken his collarbone the 4th game against Michigan State. Come out the 5th game, compete for the starting job. I pulled the ball on his own read, and I mean, I didn't really run like that in high school, but I pulled the ball. I'm like, all right, if they do this one more time, like, it's time for me. It's time for me to take it. So ended up pulling it and went for probably about 50. And I'm looking back, right? Because I'm like, oh, man, I don't know how fast these guys are. They're going to get me. Should have just hit it. Should have just went, and I would have been in. But got me down to like the 3 or the 4. Ankle got caught up and tore 5 ligaments. So that was the end of my season. Ended up finishing out the game. That was like the second quarter. I was trying to play. So ended up going to halftime, had a lightning break, told him I needed some ibuprofen. I twisted my ankle on the sideline, celebrating the whole deal, right? And ended up going out, throwing out 2 touchdowns, and then couldn't walk the next day. So I think it definitely, I know it definitely put me in a dark place mentally, because I've always had like the highest of highs and the lowest of lows throughout my football career, but I've always overcame. So for that situation, that was my first time where I really got sat down and got told I couldn't play, right? And I couldn't overcome that. So it messed with my head for sure. And just watching like the team kind of slip away, or my job, what I wanted my job to be, right, kind of slip away from me. So it definitely it built me up though, for sure. I think it definitely built me up because I was able to relate to people my sophomore year coming back, and people that were hurt or people that had bad days, right? And I see them leaving the facility. I'm like, hey, man, come here. Like, man, I'm done with this. Like, hey, calm down. We're good. Talk to me, right? And just being able to relate to people on a different level, and just kind of finding out how you can personally flip from bad days to good days, right? Or I've heard the saying, we don't have bad games, right? We have like a bad moment in time, right? So I think just being able to turn the page on things and clear your mind and find yourself again, I think that's huge, and it helped me in that process.
And then you come back your next year, you play a lot. I think you start at Virginia, right? Mm-hmm. You guys won that game. And then, take us through that season, then entering the portal, going to Missouri, kind of what led to your decision there.
Yeah, so I had committed to Manny Diaz as my head coach over at Miami, and Rhett Lashley as my offensive coordinator. ended up, after my freshman year, they ended up leaving. So Rhett Lashley ended up taking the head coaching job over at SMU. And whole new staff came in after that. And yeah, just went through the season. And it wasn't really the right environment for me, the right fit for me. Love those people to death. Still keep in contact with a lot of people down there. But I mean, it just wasn't my situation, my offense, and just didn't really feel that same comfortability in it. So decided to end up leaving, and ended up in Missouri. And things didn't ultimately end up how I wanted them to over there for my personal sake. But at the end of the day, it's about the team, and we got to go to the Cotton Bowl. So that's huge, and an experience that I wouldn't trade out. And at the end of the day, I told myself when I was in that portal, and I ended up going to Missouri, I told myself, I don't know what's going to happen, but at least I'll get to say that I was in this environment, right? I put myself in that position to be a little kid again, and I always had these dreams of being in a packed out stadium and going over there and taking down this team or that team and being a part of that. So when we got to go to the Cotton Bowl and all throughout the season, I just try to keep my head on right, because it definitely was hard for me, not playing and not seeing the field. So, but just trying to do what I can do to win. So game plan wise, or making sure that I'm keeping eyes on the safeties, the corners for Brady, the quarterback that was over there. Just trying to pull my 111th or whatever I can do. So, yeah, definitely.
All right, he is Jake Garcia. We'll take our first break. We'll come back. We'll visit again with Jake, get to know his impressions of ECU and early on. And we got to get him out to a baseball game. We're talking about that. So we'll talk about that and more. This is Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday. We'll be right back.
It's Greenville Toyota's winter wrap-up event. Wrap up a great deal on over 100 pre-owned vehicles, starting under $15,000. We have all makes and models, including luxury. Plus, wrap up a huge warranty and no-charge maintenance. Hurry into Greenville Toyota.
Acre Station Meat Farm, along with Lane Angus Beef, bring you farm to fork beef.
Stock your freezers now with affordable beef boxes, just in time for the grilling season.
Farm to fork beef brings quality local beef to your family. From your traditional butcher shop, Acre Station Meat Farm. Come on down to Acre Station Meat Farm and find out why we're #1 in fresh cuts and friendly service.
Acre Station Meat Farm, Highway 32 North, Pinetown.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked to order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
You know what the problem is with standard belts? Usually you have to choose between too tight or the opposite, too loose. But with Anson Belt and Buckle, you don't have to choose. We got rid of the holes and instead have a track system designed for micro adjustability. That way you can enjoy a perfect fit every time. Anson Belt and Buckle. Find your perfect fit today.
Hey, grab me one too.
When a place is as special as this, you don't want to change a thing. You simply want to enjoy it, just as it is. That was our inspiration behind Bow Coast West, our newest community in Beaufort, North Carolina. Embrace all that we love about this very special place and make it easy for families to enjoy all that this coastal lifestyle has to offer. Be inspired. Bow Coast West.
It's Greenville Toyota's Winter Wrap-Up Event. We're wrapping up the year with our biggest savings. Shop new Camrys and RAV4s, $289 a month. Need credit? Get pre-qualified today. Wrap up a great deal with payments from $289 at Greenville Toyota.
This is ECU head football coach Mike Houston, and you're listening to Hoist the Colors on 94.3 The Game.
All right, welcome back in, Hoist the Colors, on this Tuesday. Visiting with Jake Garcia. All right, so we were talking off the air, Jake, like, I don't know what your impressions were of ECU, California guy, East Carolina University. I'm sure it's just not making a lot of headlines out west, and you weren't able to visit here. So take us through, like, what your impressions were. You were committed. You knew there was, an opportunity to come and compete for the job, but, like, getting on campus, seeing the stadium, what were kind of your impressions, man?
Definitely. I had said earlier that that a dream of mine was to be in that packed out stadium, and honestly, like, that's what I'm getting here. So we drove up with my family, my mom and dad, and we drove up and ended up finding a gate that was open. So this is when we first got here. Ended up walking up inside the stadium, and I was like, yeah, this is impressive. This is impressive for sure. And you look at the record last year, and it was a rough one, and that's not going to happen again. That won't happen again. And the games are still packed. Right? You have people that are going to the games, and they're all about it. So when we get this thing rolling, which we are, it's going to be an exciting time.
And, 2-10, and I've talked about this with multiple guys, but, like, when you get here, it doesn't feel like a 2-10 program. Like, it was just a 2-10 season. Like, the culture, you can speak on it coming in, but, like, with Mike Houston in his 6th year, he's won before. What kind of your impressions of the culture coming in as a newer guy?
That this is a winning program. It's a winning culture. Things just didn't work out, and sometimes that happens. And people have to understand that sometimes that things like that just happen. And it's not necessarily always a player or the players or the coaches, right? Sometimes things just don't click, and that's just what it is. So moving forward, we have to, I think, just step back and assess. And I wasn't here last year, but being able to talk to people and ask them their takes on reasons, right? And just how we can turn it around. So I think coming together collectively as a group and just kind of like, hey, like this, we're turning this thing around. We're turning this thing around, and we're going to get it right. I think that's huge.
How much have y'all tried to throw together as quarterbacks and receivers just to kind of build that repertoire? A lot of new guys coming in, a lot of guys returning too with talent. So how have you guys gone about doing that?
Yeah, no, definitely. We've had like a little schedule where we throw. We've been throwing every Saturday morning. We've thrown leading up to this point in time. It was throughout the week as well. Kind of get your guys together and just go out there and throw. And I'm gonna be honest, like, this is a group that they want the work, right? This group wants the work. They want to go out there. They want to work on their craft. They want to get better. They want to build that team bond. So it's a special group, and that's why I'm saying, like, generally, like, we have a lot of potential. We have guys that the want to is there, right? So I'm excited to get started, man.
No doubt. Big spring coming up. Again, we're live on YouTube, Facebook. If you guys want to drop a question, do that. We got a few minutes left with Jake. We'll get it to him. So William Landon wants to know, what do you feel like are your biggest strengths, and what will we be working on the most this spring upcoming?
Right. I think working on the most this spring, definitely just within the new offense, just kind of mastering the offense and being able to be comfortable enough with the offense to where I can have fun with it, right? And you're not a robot. You're going through it, and you're able to kind of put your own little flair on it, and you're able to do things like that. And that's when you start having fun with things, and things take off for you. So I think that's one of the biggest things, and that also comes tied in with that team chemistry, right? The bond there, and really just getting the offense rolling. I think being able to talk to the defensive guys and get their take on things, ask them, hey, where did you see my eyes here? Like, is that what kind of brought you over here? Or little things like that. Seeing different people's perspectives on things. And then I think strengths is I think I can touch every part of the field, get that ball out. And I think that I do make people around me better. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to working with the guys, and I know that they're all excited for spring ball too, man. We'll be walking to class and, man, I'm so ready. hey.
Got to get through all the workouts first, which I know that getting towards the end of that, and then y'all be able to have some fun on the field. Any of the receivers or running backs, guys you're throwing to, have they impressed you thus far amongst the group you're throwing to?
Yeah, definitely. It wouldn't even. I'm being honest. It wouldn't be right to
single out guys.
To single out guys because I know I'd be leaving off guys, but one that I'm super excited about is Winston. I'm excited to see him go. I'm excited to see Chase go. I'm excited to see Wiz go. Man, we got guys, man. We got Malik. I think Malik's gonna have a really good year.
He's got a chance, kind of flying under the radar, but he's got a chance to be really good.
I like Malik,
no doubt.
Malik.
We touched on this earlier. Robert wants to know, he may have missed it. He says, was it fun or distracting being on a Netflix series in high school? He says you were put in tough situations. So you said you're not shy of the camera. So was it fun or stressful at all, or you just dealt with it?
No, it wasn't stressful. Yeah. It was a good time. It was fun. It was for sure fun. And I mean, personally, I got left out of the drama stuff.
Yeah,
I got left out of the drama stuff. So mine was just football.
Right. So if you would have stayed, do you think you would have been wrapped up in some of the drama?
I would have ran the other way.
Yeah. You would have tried to just focus on the football?
I would have just focused on the football.
No doubt. Jake Garcia with us. And obviously we talked about, the battle going in the spring, and that's not new for you or Caden or Raheem. So, regardless of how the reps are split up in practice, like how do you approach it from from the film room to the practice field? Is it just every rep is that much more important?
Yeah, definitely. I think, but I think also at the same time, I think it's a big thing to not focus on other people, right? Not focus on what he's doing or what he's doing. I think it's important to focus on what you're doing, and really just run your own race. You know what I'm saying? Run your own race, and I think that's the way that you get the most out of things. I think that's the way that I'll be able to running my own race is the way that I'll be able to develop the best, develop the quickest, and not add any extra pressure to myself. I think just being able to lock in on my part of things, but also being able to take the mental reps, right, and be able to learn from film and watch other people's reps. I think that's something that also helps too. So, I mean, there's a balance of it for sure, but yeah, I mean, I think running your own race is big.
And last year, East Carolina had a top 40 defense, and much has been made about the offense, which is why you guys are here, why JDB and company are here. So I imagine y'all will get challenged pretty good defensively, or when you take the offense out there. So y'all looking forward to that because y'all be going against a pretty good defense too on a daily basis.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk to them.
I heard there's some talk going on already.
I'm excited to talk to them. I'm cool with all those defensive guys, man. I'm cool with them, even though they're bad guys. Like, I'm cool with them.
Right.
I'm cool with them. So I'm excited to, and that's another thing is being able to be being able to be a people person and being able to have that relationship with the guys on both sides of the ball, not just your side of the ball. I think it's something that boosts the whole team, right? Because when we go into battle and it's during the season, we're gonna need those guys and they're gonna need us, right? We need to play complementary ball. So I think being able to go out there in spring ball and have that relationship with the guys and just talk a little bit, and they're gonna talk too for sure. So
that makes the practice fun, though.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely.
There's no doubt. That's what the best spring ball is like. And we were talking, got a few minutes left with you. Got to get you out to an ECU baseball game, man, especially now that the weather's warming up. It was 6,000 record crowd on Sunday. But are you looking forward to maybe getting out to a baseball game soon?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm going to be out there for sure. I drove by. I was like, oh, man, I want to go. But it was busy, so didn't get to go in. But, I mean, I drove by, and I saw the fence, and I saw people standing on cars. And I'm like, dang, what's going on? Like, it's like that?
Yeah.
It's like that. Like, I got to get there.
It's a special place, man, when ECU's winning in any sport. Obviously, football has benefited from that, too.
Right.
And so take us through your schedule right now with spring ball coming up. How much are y'all working out versus working out on your own, doing winter workouts, that sort of stuff?
Right. So we've been lifting 2 days a week, and then 2 days a week, and then going 3 days as like just kind of football engaged stuff. So we're making that transition, and I mean, just getting in the film room has been super big, and then we're trying to steal time as quarterbacks. So just trying to get extra time in, whether it be installs or film review of our stuff that we have going on, or just trying to get in our indie work. Definitely just being able to do something every day. Every day is part of the consistency that ends up turning out to a good outcome. So, yeah, I mean, and we're getting guys together. Like yesterday, I was out throwing with the guys. So, we didn't have any workouts going on, any football stuff going on. So, like, yeah, let's go out and throw.
He is Jake Garcia. Jake, we appreciate the time, man. It's been good to get to know you. Spring Bristol. This is Hoist the Colors on a Tuesday.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
This is about you, your family, and the health of all who live in Eastern North Carolina. This is about the transformation of a health system into something more powerful and more human, about creating new ways to treat disease and keep you well. This is about ECU Health, which is to say, it's really all about you. ECU Health. Minds, hearts, purpose.
Fifth Street Hardware is the home of the $9 lunch special Tuesday through Fridays. $9 specials every day, including the famous Burger Day on Tuesdays, Flatbread Pizza Wednesday, the famous Fifth Street Hardware Reuben on Thursday, and fried fish or shrimp on Friday. Plus trivia on Wednesday nights and live music every Thursday nights. And the Prime Rib Brunch Buffet has returned on Sundays. You heard that right. The Brunch Buffet with all the great items, including prime rib. Fifth Street Hardware in downtown Greenville.
Your confidence makes everything look good. You see the world in vivid color, not black and white. Swing through your neighborhood Fantastic Sam's Cut in Color. And let our experienced stylists take you from everyday to extraordinary.
Fantastic Sam's hair salons are locally owned and operated. Our full-service salons are conveniently located in Goldsboro, Kinston, Greenville, New Bern, Jacksonville, and Calabash. Stop in today at Fantastic Sam's, where the possibilities are endless.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.
Everything you need to know in the world of ECU athletics. This is Hoist the Colors with Steve and Igo on 94.3 The Game.
Welcome into our interview with Bristol Carter, ECU freshman outfielder. Just had a great moment on Sunday night early in his career, which we'll talk about, and we'll talk about how he came to ECU much more as he joins us via Team Boneyard and also the 23 Club, part of the ECU Baseball NIL initiative. And Bristol, first off, man, thanks for coming in on this this Monday afternoon. You got to be feeling pretty good, right?
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, Bristol, let's talk about it, and we'll get into more of your story. You know, we've talked during your recruitment process and all that before you got to ECU. But last night, you know, it's one of the reasons you come to East Carolina playing these games. So can you take us through the emotions of trying to control it going into your at-bat and then getting the walk-off?
You hit it spot on. It's definitely one of the reasons why I came here and play in front of these amazing fans. But, you know, we wouldn't be in the spot where it was if it wasn't for Starlin hitting that single, and then JC hitting that double down the line, and then intentional walk Dixon. So it's definitely for nice them getting on. But just going up to the bat, I had a feeling that they were gonna intentional walk Dixon Williams, just because of the way he was hitting the ball all night. But I just trying to control my breathing, not let the kind of game speed up, and just relax and have fun. And I knew they had to pitch to me because it was bases loaded with 1 out, so I just tried to put a barrel on the ball, and it's exactly what I did, and it was the best feeling.
So slider low and away you took for ball one. It may seem like simple, like obviously everybody's always like, why? Like when they watch baseball, like, why are you swinging that slider low and away? It's because it looks like it's going to be a strike. People don't understand that. But like taking that pitch and then knowing that you'd already seen it, and then I'm guessing he throws it the second pitch, but it's over the plate. How much did that kind of help you? You had seen it. You were ahead in the count. You could, did that kind of relax you a little bit too?
Yeah, it definitely relaxed me. Just being able to see that first pitch. I saw it really well, obviously, because he threw it to me second pitch and left it over the plate, and I took it for a hit. So,
did you like black out when you're running the center field, getting mobbed by your teammates? What was that like?
It was an awesome feeling. I kind of blocked out the crowd because I couldn't really hear how loud the crowd was. But after watching videos and stuff, it was really loud. But yeah, it was an awesome feeling, just being able to see all my teammates running after me and getting a little water shower after. That felt good.
How cold was it, or did you not even feel it? Because it was so much
I honestly didn't feel it in the moment, but after, my jersey was soaked, and it definitely was some ice cold water. It was definitely cold.
So obviously, you were a pretty name recruit when you committed, and there was talk, hey, Bristol Carter might get selected in the draft. You had opportunities, but you chose to come to ECU, and take us through that process too, because there were opportunities there, but you really wanted to play college baseball, and you wanted to play for these fans as well, right?
Yes, sir, absolutely. I just kind of put it all in the Lord's hands and just let him take it from there. But yeah, it was definitely a stressful moment, but I'm glad I took the decision to come here and play in front of these amazing fans, and just the coaching staff as well, just playing the best coaching staff in the country. So, yeah.
And 7 games into your career, I mean, to have a moment like that is obviously special. But I know, like they always say, I had Connor Norby on the show last week, and he was like, man, my freshman year, I just had to survive it. It's like, for you, how has that transition been going from the high school ranks to college? Like, I'm sure there's been adjustments, but how?
Yeah, there's definitely an adjustment, but I've kind of taught myself just to sync to the training and know that I'm prepared for the moment. But yeah, it's definitely a big change from high school to college, but just kind of, like I said, sync to the training, not let the game get so big, and just control the breathing, and just know that I've been prepared, and just let the preparation prepare for the games.
How tough was the fall, like Mission Week and all that, going through for the first time?
It was definitely tough. I mean, it was not easy at all, but I thought it brings the team closer together as a bond and makes everyone mentally stronger and physically stronger. But it definitely wasn't easy at all.
Bristol Carter with us, ECU freshman outfielder. And we also talked about this after the game, but, left field on Friday in Chapel Hill. So was it the sky or the lights, or a combination?
So everyone's saying it's the lights, but it actually wasn't at all, because the ball was hit
basically straight up.
Yeah, it was hit straight up. So it was kind of the sky.
And it was a weird sky.
Yeah, it was a weird sky, and it's always weird. Like, as soon as the sun's going down, it's kind of got that like little dark gray, kind of blends into the ball. So when the ball was hit, I honestly thought it was popped up to like J-Dub or the way that Shaq was kind of running around. I thought it was hit to him. I thought I wouldn't have had a play on it, but yeah, it was definitely scary because I saw none of the ball. And
yeah, because I don't know how it came across on TV, because I know there was a stream for that game, but like being there, yeah, like as soon as there was contact, you were just like,
yeah, no, I didn't see it at all. And I told Riley the inning before, because we've in practice, and sometimes, and even games before, when that sky gets like that, sometimes it's kind of hard to see the ball. So I kind of have him let me know if he can see it, and if I don't see it, I'll kind of yell out that I don't see it. But yeah,
it's got to be like I don't know, pretty terrifying.
No, it is. Yeah, it's not the best feeling, not knowing where the ball is, knowing that everyone's saying it's coming towards you and you can't see it.
It's just, I mean, just one of those freak things with baseball. Unfortunately, like, it just happens. And you probably played mostly center field, right, during your baseball career. So has that been an adjustment as well? Because the ball, you got to read it differently off the bat too and left.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different than center field. the way the ball's moving towards you and left than center is a big difference. But I mean, like I said, I'll play anywhere coach needs me to, as long as I'm contributing to the team.
And clearly there's a ton of guys who can start, including yourself. Luke Nowak and yourself have been splitting some time at left. We've seen Carter Cunningham go out there, Cam Clonch play first. So it's one of those things where y'all just have a ton of depth, and y'all push each other, but then also have those relationships too that you just want the team to do well at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we just want the team, like you said, do well at the end of the day, and it doesn't matter where you're playing. I mean, just got to be a good teammate whether you're on the field or off the field, and I think that's exactly what we've been doing. And it's a good problem to have a lot of depth in the outfield and even in the infield. But
Bristol Carter with us, ECU freshman outfielder. So what was it like being on base? I certainly didn't expect Luke Nowak to homer there. That was pretty crazy. So what was that like?
It was.
And you were off on the pitch, right?
I was off on the pitch. Yeah, I was off. It was awesome. Just seeing him. I mean, I think it was his first career home run, and probably one of the biggest moments of his career.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome, and he definitely deserved it.
So, was it a hit and run? So, like, were you looking in on the pitch, or were you just going?
Yeah, it was a hit and run. Okay. So I was looking in, and I saw the ball kind of take off to right field. Right. I didn't think it had a chance, but it kind of just kept going, and I saw it get out.
That was awesome, man. Yeah. And then he almost passed you on the bases.
So he did. Must have been excited.
Yeah. It was crazy, man. Yeah. Great atmosphere. Like, when you're in the game, when you come in as a pinch runner and then obviously you get inserted, like, do you even – I'm sure, like, when you're in the dugout, you recognize the crowd, but when you're on the field, like, do you try and block it out, or can you still kind of feel it?
Yeah, for me, I honestly block it out. So I don't really – like I said, when I hit the walk-off, I really didn't hear much of the crowd because I was kind of blocking it out. But you definitely know they're there. I definitely can feel that they're there, but I kind of block it out.
For you, obviously, big moment for the team. And as we will air this on our Tuesday radio show, y'all are going to be on the way to Old Dominion. So quick turnaround. So what's the biggest challenge in moving past this and focusing on the next game?
I would just say just preparing for ODU tomorrow and just recovering. We got a lift later today. Just getting prepared for the game tomorrow and just moving on.
And for baseball, it's almost like, you celebrate the game, but y'all play so much, you just have to kind of learn how to do that, right? Because otherwise you can let the previous game beat you.
That's
almost.
Right. Yep.
Bristol Carter with us. All right, so let's talk about your Northwest Guilford playing days. And you played football.
Yes, sir.
Along with baseball. Any other sports or just those two?
I played basketball my freshman year, but once COVID hit, I quit that.
So how's your jumper?
It was all right. I wasn't much of a shooter. I kind of just went up there and tried to dunk and was a defensive guy, kind of stole the ball. And
energy guy?
That's right. Yes, sir.
Football-wise, I know you were telling me you and Trenton Cloud, who's come to ECU, 3-star receiver commit, have a pretty good bond, and y'all made some plays together. So I always heard Bristol Carter was pretty electric on the football field. So how are you as a football player?
I would say, it was fun playing football. I think it definitely helped me in the outfield because I was a defensive back, so safety. So just being able to go open up and go running for the ball for defense kind of helps me play center field. But it was fun. It was fun playing football. I played it growing up my whole life, and it'd have been nice to play in college, but I knew I had to give it up sooner or later.
Any memorable plays from football that stick out the most to you?
I would say we were in the second round of playoffs my senior year, and our quarterback the game before broke one of his bones in his hand. So it was that game he broke his hand, and I had to step up and play quarterback. And it was it might have been 20-20 with like 40 seconds left, and we were away. We were up in Watauga in the mountains. It was like 20 degrees, snowing, really cold, and I got the call on 4th and 1 for a quarterback sneak, and I took it for like 50 yards to win the game. I think there was like 3 seconds left, but they didn't end up scoring. So that was probably the best memory.
So was this like a straight under center QB sneak or just like shotgun?
Yeah, it was shotgun, and just took one step back and let my blockers get out there and just took it in the outside and ran.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Bristol Carter, and obviously a lot of good memories on the diamond for you guys, and you had a bunch of big hits. So any big memories in baseball as well at Northwest Guilford?
I would say,
if you can pick one or two.
If I could pick one, it'd probably be my last official at bat. It was a home run to go up ahead in the third game. We ended up losing, but that was a good feeling, just being able to hit that solo home run and get ahead of the team. But other than that, no.
So when you were getting recruited by Cliff Godwin and ECU at that time, what led you to choosing the Pirates?
Just a relationship I had with the coaches. They were just amazing, and I knew I could trust them. And it was every time we talked, it was never about it was about baseball, but they would ask more questions about how your family's doing and stuff like that. And that really stuck with me throughout the process. And I knew they cared just not about baseball, but about your life and your family. And that was a big decision on why I picked here, and just the fans here.
Got to experience that last night, so that had to be pretty sweet. Was it your first jungle jump after the game, or had you done one previously?
I did one the first game just because I had my first collegiate hit.
That's right.
But yeah.
So I'm guessing both of them were sweet, but last night had to be pretty awesome.
Yeah, last night was awesome. It was awesome.
Bristol Carter with us. All right, so Trey Daly, general manager of the Dirtbags, always has to chime in when I've got a Dirtbag on.
Yep.
Cam Claunch, we've told plenty of stories, and now we got Bristol Carter in. So I'll tell you what, he's always send me these videos of you doing crazy things for the Dirtbags, like running, stealing bases, including a video where you ran over him. So he says, ask him about stealing home in the top of the first with Tayshawn Walton on a right-handed pitcher, 1 out, 6'4", 225-pound hitter. He said it almost ended his career.
Yeah.
Craziest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, he always brings up this moment in Dirtbag. So we had, I forget where we were playing, probably somewhere, I think it might have been Fort Myers, and we had Tayshawn. He was committed to Miami. He ended up signed for the Phillies in the 4th or 5th round. And he was up, I think I led off the game with a single and stole, and somehow got to third. And there was 1 out, and he was up to the plate with, I think, 2 strikes. Maybe it might have been 1. And I kind of hinted to Trey that I'm stealing home on him.
He said he told you no 3 times.
Yeah, no, he was telling me no, but I knew I had home plate stolen, so I ended up taking the stolen base on that. And yeah, it's funny because he always brings that up.
So you did end up stealing it.
Yes, sir.
And the guy didn't swing, so you didn't get hurt.
Yeah, thankfully he didn't. Yeah.
But great moments there for Bristol Carter with the Dirtbags. So obviously, how much did that program along with Northwest Guilford just play a role in preparing you for what you're going through now and this level of baseball? Because not many freshmen can come in ready to play and contribute like this.
Yeah, I mean, it played a big role. The Dirtbags, we'd always play in the top tournaments out there, and just being able to play in front of the competition definitely helped me for college.
And you come in, obviously, with some Dirtbag teammates like Di Lorenzo and some other guys. So any of those fellow freshmen you've created a good bond with early on?
Yeah, I mean, I think every teammate out there I've created a bond with and enjoy hanging out with the team. But I would say, yeah, Jackson Di Lorenzo is my roommate, so we have a good bond. And playing summer ball, we had a bond before. But other than that, really, I just enjoy every teammate.
With Jackson last night, he got a big spot as well and pitched well. I mean, I know he had the wild pitch that tied the game, but I think just judging off what I've seen and heard, I think he's going to be a big contributor. Just how have you seen him kind of grow over the years?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's grown a lot, and he picks the brains of the older guys and asks them just questions that he has about pitching, or whether it's his mechanics or grips on the ball, and he's definitely going to be play a big role in this year, and he's a good pitcher.
Bristol Carter in studio with us in this special interview via Team Boneyard and the 23 Club. So, Bristol, when you look at Sunday's game, having that moment, how much can it help your confidence? I don't know. To me, you've always been confident, but just as far as maybe just relaxing and letting the game come to you, do you feel like
I mean, it definitely can boost my confidence a lot, but like you said earlier, you kind of just have to move on from it, and we are preparing for Old Dominion tomorrow. But yeah, it definitely can boost my confidence.
Coach Godwin said one of the things he told you was try not to pull it, at least focus on hitting backside. So is that one of the things you're working on early on as a freshman, hitting wise, using the whole field, that sort of thing?
Yeah, using the whole field definitely can play a big part of my game, and I've kind of been working on staying inside the ball, and that's exactly what I did to that pitch last night and took it the other way.
And then defensively, playing left, is that something you've got to go out and rep more to get used to it? Is it just a feel thing?
So we take BP during practice every day. He'll have me rep in center field and left field, so I got reps plenty enough in left, and I'm getting used to it like I've gotten used to center field. So
Old Dominion on Tuesday, and then the Keith LeClaire Classic. So have you had a chance to do much research on Keith LeClaire and just kind of what he means to this program? His pictures on the side of the stadium, and I believe y'all read coaching third.
Yep. Yeah.
So how much does Coach Godwin kind of bring him up?
Yeah, I mean, he brings him up almost every day, and we've like you said, we were at coaching third, but I was actually, I think it was last year or the year before, I came to the Claire Classic, and it's definitely a big part of the program, and
I know y'all don't look ahead, but like, do you think it'll be pretty sweet? Y'all put on the 23 jerseys this weekend. Like, do you think that'll mean a lot to you for the first time wearing those jerseys?
Yeah, it definitely will mean a lot. Being able to put those jerseys on for the first time.
As for you, what's the biggest key going forward to, as you move into this week and the rest of the year? Is it consistency for you, for success individually and as a team? Like, what's the big focus for you going forward?
I would say consistency, yeah, just being able to trust the process and sync to the training.
All right, Bristol. Well, hey, man, this has been fun having you in studio, and appreciate your time. Congrats again on the walk-off victory, and first of many, man, so appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, that's Bristol Carter. There's our interview from Monday at the Bristol Carter. Of course, the team now on its way to ODU. Coverage 3 o'clock is first pitch. 2:45 pregame show begins with Scott Rogers from Norfolk. All right, we'll get our final break in. We'll come back. We will wrap up the show on a Tuesday after this.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport. Storm season is approaching. North Carolina weather can damage your roof, and before long, a small leak can turn into a big problem. Your home is one of your biggest investments, so protect it with Wells Home Improvements.
We work with all insurance companies for a hassle-free roof installation experience. Call us today and get 10% off your roof installation when you mention this commercial.
252-227-8403 or visit us online at wellshomeimprovements.com. Wells Home Improvements. Local, honest, dependable.
Big tax credits are back. Get a 30% tax credit, up to $2,000 off your new Mitsubishi electric heat pump install. Let Comfort Master help you take advantage of the tax credits with a qualifying Mitsubishi electric ducted heat pump or non-ducted Mitsubishi electric mini splits. Mitsubishi electric mini splits are ideal for bonus rooms, garages, or sunrooms. If you need a new HVAC unit, call Comfort Master today.
Call Comfort Master. Call Comfort Master.
Other restaurants claim their food is fresh and fast, but are they friendly? At Moore's, you're treated like family the minute you walk into their doors. With locations in Winterville, New Bern, Swansboro, Morehead City, and Jacksonville. We've been practicing what we preach since 1945. At Moore's, our barbecue is slow cooked and smoked over real wood daily until it's so tender it's falling off the bone. Combined with our fresh chicken, cooked-to-order seafood, and homemade fixins, we're sure you'll agree. If it's not Moore's, it's less.
When a place is as special as this, you don't want to change a thing. You simply want to enjoy it, just as it is. That was our inspiration behind Bow Coast West, our newest community in Beaufort, North Carolina. Embrace all that we love about this very special place, and make it easy for families to enjoy all that this coastal lifestyle has to offer. Be inspired. Bow Coast West.
Hey, grab me one too.
Air Service is back at Pitt Greenville Airport, offering safe, clean facilities and flights from American Airlines. That means the short commute, quicker lines, and better prices that get you where you're going fast and easy. See it for yourself. There's great things inside at Pitt Greenville Airport.
Here there be pirates. Back to Hoist the Colors with Stephen Igo. How good is this? On 94.3 The Game.
Welcome back in, Hoist the Colors, wrapping up the show on this Tuesday. Great show. Really appreciate Jake Garcia for taking some time. Really just wanted to introduce him to Pirate Nation. Of course, we've had Caden Hauser in. We've covered Raheem Jeter, his recruitment, and just haven't had a chance to really talk yet with Jake upon arriving at ECU. Of course, he's been busy, mid-year guy, got in a little late, so really appreciate his time. And introducing him a little bit, big battle in spring ball with him and Caden Hauser and Raheem Jeter for the starting quarterback position. We'll cover that all spring long. March 19th, that'll begin officially with practice. We'll continue our football coverage this week. Again, thanks again to Bristol Carter as well from baseball for stopping by there, getting ready for ODU. But we've got more football coverage. Tomorrow we've got Chad Stevens, ECU senior defensive end, in studio. Thursday we've got J.D. Lampley, also a defensive lineman, in studio as we continue to get these guys in. Part of our partnership with Team Boneyard and through our HTC initiative, where several of our members gave to the cause to get these guys on the radio and on our show. So really looking forward to having all these guys on going forward, and really appreciate everybody's support. We'll see you on Wednesday at 12 noon. Until then, this has been Hoist the Colors.
Hi, I'm D.R. Alligood.
And I'm his daughter, Jessica.
For 11 years, we have built quality driveways and parking lots for both your residential and commercial needs. We also offer free on-site quotes to have your custom driveways built the way you want.
252-946-1227.